He placed the battered leather folder directly beside the crisp, new contracts David had thrown earlier. The contrast between the two documents was striking. Dad rested his hand on the cover for a second, taking a stabilizing breath. He looked at David with a sadness I had never seen before. My mother couldn't bear to watch what was happening. She turned her chair away from the table, facing the wall. She buried her face in her hands, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. It was clear she had fought to keep this hidden for a long time. Her reaction only made the atmosphere more tense. David finally stopped smiling as he looked from Mom to the folder. Dad flipped the leather cover open with a deliberate motion. Inside were two distinct documents that looked official and aged. One was a birth certificate with a raised seal, yellowed around the edges. The other was a photocopied section of the original company bylaws. He smoothed them out on the tablecloth so they were clearly visible. He didn't say anything yet, letting the papers speak for themselves first. David leaned forward, his curiosity finally getting the better of him. He squinted at the text on the birth certificate. I watched the color drain from his face in real time. His confident demeanor crumbled into confusion and then shock. He looked up at Dad, his mouth opening and closing without sound. The realization was hitting him hard. The silence in the room was now heavy with the truth. Dad finally spoke, his voice trembling but clear. He pointed a shaking finger at the name on the birth certificate. He told David that he was not his biological father. He explained that Mom had been pregnant when they met. The room felt like it was spinning as the words hung in the air. David looked at the document again, seeing a stranger's name listed under father. Dad then moved his finger to the copy of the bylaws. He read the highlighted section, aloud for everyone to hear. The clause stated clearly that the company must pass to a direct blood heir of the founder. Since David was not biological family, he was ineligible to inherit the business. Dad looked at me and confirmed that the entire company was immediately transferred to my name. David exploded into motion, desperate to find a loophole. He shot up from his seat so fast that his chair toppled backward with a loud crash. He snatched the papers off the table, bringing them close to his face. He scanned the lines frantically, looking for any mistake or misinterpretation. His hands shook violently as he read the words that stripped him of everything. Panic had completely replaced his arrogance. While he panicked over the old documents, I reached out for the new ones. I pulled the stack of transfer papers he had thrown at me earlier back into my possession. I wouldn't be signing them, but they were a nice souvenir of his failure. I looked up at him and offered a small, satisfied smile. He stared back at me, defeated and pale. The power dynamic had shifted permanently. Dad reached for the wine bottle, bypassing David's empty champagne glass entirely. He poured a generous amount into my glass until it sparkled under the chandelier light. He raised his own glass toward me, ignoring the chaos David was still processing. With a proud smile, he toasted to the true owner of the family business. I clinked my glass against his, savoring the sweet taste of justice.